What is scalability testing? In theory, all performance testing is scalability testing because the outcome of a performance test is to figure out where do I need to scale my system. So if you're looking at the graph I found online, the throughput, memory usage, CPU usage, network usage, response time, all these are tracking records of any type of performance test. If I do stress, if I do spike, if I do soak testing, all this information will be collected. So what is difference in scalability testing, very specific to scalable, is when you have to horizontally or vertically scale, not only upscale and downscale when the service is running, right? So that is very important area. Honestly, not many applications need it, but some applications actually need it in cases that at some point I will be having more number of, especially for AWS or GCP, have this feature of auto scaling. Auto scaling is always means upscaling. So you have like 4 nodes, and then when there is a bigger traffic, and your system might automatically increases your 4 nodes into 8 nodes or 12 nodes or whatever, however you configure it, it will auto upscale your system. But once it crosses that limit, and when you are having low traffic times after, let's say Amazon example, after the Black Friday is over, you don't want to keep that upscaled systems running for a time. Obviously it's a joke in AWS that might make you bankrupt. So you wanted to downscale the system. So you need to identify, can I, what point I can downscale my nodes or services, the duplications, the failover systems, primary and secondary systems. How do I upscale and downscale? That's very important to figure out. You need to do a similar simulation in your real-time scenario. My recommendation, do that in endurance or soak testing, what we discussed in the previous videos, that how do we run a performance or load test for a longer period of time. In the middle of longer period, you also increase your size and decrease your size. If you are running that for 8 hours, for 30 minutes, or make a script automatically increase and downgrade your number of duplications in maybe 1 hour cycles, right? So 1 hour cycle you keep increasing, and then after 1 hour cycles you keep decreasing. So you will be having different types of variations, different spikes, and you also have different number of services, different number of nodes. That will give you a good idea about how and when I can upscale and downscale my system. When I upscale, what kind of issues happen? I'm always in a positive assumption that okay, when I upscale, it should handle more number of requests, but it also means there is a cold restart or cold start of a system. So that might slow you down. Your gateway or load balancer will try to into, instead of 4 services, it try to distribute into 5 services or 6 nodes or 8 nodes. At that time, that might negatively impact your performance as well. So that's the kind of scenario we wanted to figure out with scalability testing, that when I increase or when I upscale the system, how the system behaves. And if I downscale at the middle of the service or while running 8 nodes, and then my traffic is low and I downgrade it, is there any impact on that? Because some of the request will send to one of the nodes shouldn't be lost. The data sent to these nodes, which is scheduled for that should always complete the transaction, then close this connection instead of doing it in the middle. Those kind of validations done in scalability testing. For that, you might need more knowledge about containers, Docker images, and your nodes and your infrastructure. Those kind of information you need to learn more about it. But the more you know, the more you able to identify about your system. That will enable you to do the scalability testing